We have the Los Angeles Rams traveling to the Baltimore Ravens. The Rams are 7.5 point favorites, and I messed up here the numbers. I'll change it right now, but it's the Rams are 7.5 point favorites. The over under here is 44.5. What are the numbers saying in this matchup while I change this banner?
Yeah, again, more information from Mike Palm, the odds maker at the Circa in Las Vegas, and he felt very confident that this game could go up higher. Like, it could be, maybe Rams -8, maybe -9, maybe even 10. And he was just pretty much breaking down like this is a game where the line has shifted so much from a week ago because they have these look ahead lines. And again, at the time, people thought, okay, no Lamar Jackson, but the Ravens could still be respectable and they'll keep it close against Houston. So I want to say it was like maybe -3.5 Rams in Baltimore a week ago. And then they got blown out by the Houston Texans from all teams who couldn't score anything for the first 3 weeks here. So it went up to -7.5 for the Rams. It could go higher, which is a little weird because that's what happened last week when they were playing the 49ers and they were laying 9 points. And a lot of people got burned there. And you know, it was funny because I think Mike was saying that, like, they won a lot of money off that game because the whole public was on the 49ers side. He was a little worried that maybe it'll break even because a lot of the sharps will come in and take the 49ers. But even then, I don't think a lot of money came in on the sharps because they were just so people were just that convinced that the Rams are going to win, and that just didn't happen here. Uh, before I kind of give you my pick here, I want to hear your thoughts, Victor. But this is one that's a little tricky because it's very high, and the Rams can't cover, but also the Ravens suck. Like, they're not a good team. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's just what if you're thinking uh Rams, take them now. The public's gonna flood them. It's gonna get higher. Do it, but that's a lot of points to lay. And like after Victor mentions his analysis, I will give you my pick.
Yeah, and the tricky part here too, Gilbert, is that the Ravens might be getting some players back that didn't have last week. Kyle
Mm.
Hamilton, you could have their new safeties that they just picked up. CJ Gardner Johnson practiced today. Alodi Gilman also practiced. It sounds like he's gonna be ready to go as well. But you're right. I guess the narrative in this is, can the Rams, you know, put away a team when they know that they have the advantage here. If Lamar Jackson doesn't play and is expected that he won't be back for a couple more weeks, and so I think that's what you want to see from the Rams is, can the Rams finally put outside of them putting away the Titans on the road, they haven't been able to, and so I would be. This is another game where I'm kind of. I'm kind of wanting to go with the Ravens here just to be able to cover. I like the Rams to win, but I don't know what to expect from this Rams team from week to week, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I like what you did with the last game and just pretty much saying like I would stay away from this one. That's what I'm gonna say here. I would stay away from this one, but if you felt a need to bet on this game, I'm with you. I think Baltimore could be the play here. That's It's just too many points here. And if you're going Baltimore, wait till almost kickoff time to get a point or two to your for you to there to help out for your bet there. So go Baltimore. Sometimes pride just kicks in, and like you
Yeah.
mentioned, also being healthier, an adjustment game with Cooper Rush there. Uh, the Rams also too sometimes like to just get out of games from against inferior competition on the road.
Yep.
Just get the W and go home. Sometimes that's the case too. I get to the Tennessee game. Tennessee was just that bad. I think the Ravens are a prideful team. I think they're going to keep it somewhat competitive, maybe a backdoor cover. I just can't get behind the Rams after what they did on Thursday Night Football against a depleted 49ers team. So give me the Ravens here if you're going to twist my arm. But again, I will rather stay away.
Yeah, and I mean the Rams really need this game because they go from here to London to take on the Jaguars the week after.
Ooh.
So I mean it's going to be a heavy travel 2 weeks here for them. They need to make sure they take care of the one here because things might get if if they don't take care of business here, they lose three in a row. That's not going to be a good look. All right, Gilbert. let's move on to our second LA betting market game, and that is the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to the Miami Dolphins. The Chargers are 4.5 point favorites here. The over under is 44 and a half. What are the numbers saying in this matchup?
Yeah, this is a really tough one, and I think it's another one to really gauge here. Where 4.5 just seems like a lot for a Chargers team that's has done nothing right the last 2 weeks. They look even worse at home. I know the competition was better, but from the New York game on the road to the home game against Washington, they got worse, and they're really struggling with the offensive line. And I even said, all right, if there's one team that your offensive line could do well against, it's the Commanders. They don't have any pass rushers, and that didn't matter. They still lit up Justin Herbert. They put constant pressure. And the Dolphins don't have been that many qualities there that you like in a team, but they got pass rushers. Bradley Chubb, I know, is not the same Bradley Chubb, but he was doing pretty well last week. He might have like 4 sacks in the season. I forget right now. Jalen Phillips still hasn't found the stride, which is going to be hard with multiple knee injuries that he's had the last 2 years. But he's still a quality pass rusher. You got Chop Robinson, who hasn't been as well as a rookie, but that's 3 guys right there with talent. Like they could definitely take advantage of. I can't even name the guys on the on the Chargers O line, Joe Nobody and Joe Schmo, whatever the hell you want to call them. They're that banged up. So to me, I think you got to pay attention to the home team in the 4.5. If it was like 3, maybe it's not worth it. But to me, there might be some value in that 4.5 for a home team, a desperate team that could hear whispers about firing everybody.
Yeah, I think the narrative here is you just went into it about firing. I think Mike McDaniel, I he's looking at his job here, and so especially after the way they looked against the Panthers. They looked great in the first half, and then they just gave away that game in the second half. And so, and you talked about the Chargers are also a wounded team right now. They're looking for a win as well. So that's why this line at 4.5. If I'm, the narrative for me here is it feels like the Dolphins at home would be the play here at 4.5. The Chargers are desperate too. And one of the things coming into the season that I was convinced about with the Chargers, Gilbert, was hey, as long as they have Harbaugh going to the East Coast, it's not a problem for this team because we saw it last season. That's not the case anymore, especially after they laid that egg against the Giants. I have no faith in them being able to, come out and just uh pound teams and run the ball, and they just can't even do that. If they were able to run the ball, I say
Yeah.
I like their chances here just because they can out physical this Miami Dolphins team, but I just don't have any faith in that, and so I'd go with the home team here to cover. But yeah, I'd stay away from this one as well.
Yeah. We are in agreement here. We rarely agree this much, but I also would stay away from this one. I think the Chargers could win this game. They're not going to win it by 4.5 points or 5 points pretty much for you to win here. It's just too high. I get the Dolphins are terrible, but they're desperate. Maybe they could benefit them, but also the Chargers are desperate too. It's just like you mentioned, no running game, no offensive line. The defense has taken multiple steps back. They traded for the Ravens edge rusher. I don't see that being a big help here. So to me, stay away. But if you're twisting my arm, give me the Dolphins plus 4.5.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, Gilbert. Last week was a great week, as you mentioned at the top of the show for our Super Dog contest. Uh, we both hit. You hit with the 49ers at what was it? Was it +7 you had it at?
Yeah,
And
and I
then
was worried about not getting more.
yeah, and then I had the Patriots at +8.5. Both of them were straight up wins, so we both got 10 points for the week now. Gilbert, I mean, going into week 5, you're at 64 points. I'm at 58 points. We both had good weeks last week for our best bets as well. I went 3-2. You win 2-3, but you hit on your 5 and your 4 points, which still puts you in the lead over me right now. So we're gonna start off with our super dog contest, a week 6 pick. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I don't feel good about this one. I've already gotten burned by this team many times this season. I think I expect more from them, and they just haven't been able to do it. And I'm talking about the New York Jets here. I think I took the Jets last week against the Cowboys because the Cowboys were a public team, and that was like a big red flag. Nope, the Cowboys won. I took the Jets on a super dog pick in week 2 against the Bills. They got beat down. This team is 0-5. Why am I going back? Hey, you know what?
I
I
want to
gotta be
know this
bold.
because I'll be honest, Gilbert. I thought you were going to go with the Browns here. I thought the play was going to be the Browns, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, there's a couple things too. Like the Browns have already helped me multiple times. Um, they actually they hit on me, hit for me last year with the 4.5. I know a lot of people got 3.5, but I kind of want to try something different. Again, I want to be bold, uh, and also they just kind of have a problem with scoring here, and I think the Jets have a good offense. They just fall behind too much here, and it's a little bit about the Broncos. And since we are on the topic here, I know I'm sidetracked here a little bit. I want to give you guys a quick story because this is what I live by. Like, you could bet on some favorites, but always make sure you're going to take a chance because I think when you take chances on underdogs, it's just good juju. It's like good vibes, and it's just the way the NFL goes. You're going to get something crazy that you can't explain, but it's going to happen. And I saw these bets that came in at the Caesar Sportsbook, and they sent them my way, and they were like, "Hey, look at these bets here for one better," and they were like, "This guy might have Biff's almanac." How do you say almanac? The sports
Yeah. Yeah. The
the
sports
yeah
almanac.
for from Back to the
Back.
Future, and like
Yes.
he put or this person put 300,000 on the Vikings to cover -3.5. Again, taking a favorite. Another 300,000 on the Cowboys to win straight up money line against the Jets. Again, another favorite. But put another 300K on the Titans plus 7.5 against the Cardinals. Boom, that hit. I think that was good juju for that person to get a few favorites out there, but then going with the who backs the Titans. So you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna live by that spirit there. Maybe I got Biff's almanac from the sports of the 1950 to 2000, and I become rich. Who the hell knows? Uh, Jets plus 7.5 against the Broncos. And going back to the narratives, the Broncos probably have a lot of love right now after beating the Eagles. They can't score that many points. So to me, I know it's on neutral grounds here, but they're going further. From have they been on the East Coast? Maybe from Philly to
Yeah.
London.
They're going from Philly to London, and then the Jets are going. Of course, they were at
Yeah,
home against the
it's not
Cowboys.
that long of a flight from New York. So to me, I'm gonna go with the Jets here. And don't count out the desperation of being 0-5. The Saints won last week, the
True.
Titans won last week, and the Giants won the week before that. They don't want to go 0-6. Give me the Jets here.
I like it. And I'm gonna stay in the New York as well, Gilbert. I'm going to the Thursday night game. New York Giants plus 7.5 against the Eagles. The Eagles haven't looked great, but I don't care about that. We know how these Thursday night divisional games can go, especially the home team. I'm not saying that the Giants are gonna win this game. I just like them to cover here. We saw, especially with the rookie quarterback, playing at home makes a lot of difference here. So I'm gonna stick to the New York Giants here, being able to play well at home against a divisional opponent. And I just need them to keep it close and,
Yeah.
and cover for me. I'm not saying if they win, that's just gravy on top, but I'm not expecting them to win this game.
Yeah, and they have a good front too. They could definitely
Yep.
make it a little muddy there for the Eagles, who barely beat the Cowboys in week 1. They lost to the Broncos. So, the key thing is focusing on the number. You get the hook on the 7.5. If it's 7, maybe you're kind of worried about it, but you get 7.5. So they got to win by more than a touchdown. That's not an easy feat for the Eagles here.
Yeah, and I already saw it drop down to 7, so I'm glad I caught it
Oh,
at seven and a
okay.
half. So I've already seen it start to go down. So maybe there's some money coming in on
Yeah.
the Giants here as well. All right, Gilbert, let's go quickly here. Let's run this running the hurry up offense here with our best bets for week 6. We'll start off with you. What is your number 5 bet?
Yeah, I already touched on this one. For my 5-pointer, I'm going with the 49ers plus 3 versus Buccaneers. I don't feel good about who's going to win this game, but I feel very confident it's going to be a close game. So I'd rather take the points here. Give me the 49ers plus 3.
All right, your number 4.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of pluses right here for me. That's honestly kind of what I go by. Maybe a little too much, and it does hurt me, but I'm okay with it this week. For my 4-pointer, Bears plus 4.5 versus the Commanders, and I gotta admit the Commanders look pretty good. They're a little bit slept on, because Jaden Daniels missed a couple games. McLaurin has missed a couple games. Um, I know for them the script has to go right for them. Like they're not like a legit juggernaut or like a legit Super Bowl contender, but they're a very good team. And when they run the football well, that's when they cause problems. But to me, I think the Bears offense is starting to pick it up, and the Bears are coming off a bye week too. And if they're
Yep.
able to score some points early on and take away the running game from the Commanders, you never know what could happen. It could be a close game here, and don't forget the revenge factor. They're probably so pissed off about the walk-off Hail Mary last year.
I'll give you one more thing, Gilbert, that I looked at. Teams that face the Chargers are 1-3 this season after facing them, and it's because of their physical play that the
Yeah.
Chargers play. They might not be playing great right now, but that physicality eventually, takes over. The only win is the Broncos, and they played on Monday night, and it was against the Bengals. You're telling me you have a Bears team coming off a bye after having to deal with the Chargers, that's not going to come into play here? Yeah, I'm with you. I like the Bears
Yeah.
here at 4.5 as well. You're number
All right.
3.
For my number three, I probably maybe should have bumped this up a little higher, and I mentioned it in the intro, but I like the Falcons here from a 3-pointer plus 4.5. These are a lot of good points. They're not threes or 3.5. You're getting 4.5 here with the Bears, with the Falcons. So I like these a lot. And I'll touch on the Bills a little bit. I think the Bills are a little overrated because Josh Allen is great. That's a good offense, a legit offense. But the defense is going to keep teams in games. Like that's why Josh Allen has to be a hero so many times. Again, Spencer Rattler had his way a little bit in for the Saints against Buffalo. Tua had a nice game, and then last week Drake May had a nice game against this defense here. But Stephon Diggs was 32 years old or 31 years old. So to me, I know Penix it could be a problem, but look what he did to the Washington secondary. That's a little so-so. He did pretty well. Throw it to Drake London, run the football with Bijan. I can see a close game here, maybe even an outright win here.
Yeah, no, I like this one as well. I ended up switching it just because I wanted to talk more about it when you brought it up on here as your number 3, but I'm with you. The Falcons at home are a way better team. If this was at the Bills, I would have gone the other way, but the Falcons are really good at home, especially with Michael Penix. If especially if he can pepper that ball in the middle of this, go up against that middle of that Bills defense, I really like, and they're coming off a bye too, Gilbert. So I mean,
Yeah,
you have to
that's
like
true.
teams that are playing at home, coming off a bye here too. You're number 2, Gilbert.
Yeah, I think that's when we're in a disagreement here, and
Yeah.
I'll say this a little more insight from the odds makers. Uh, the Seahawks have gotten a lot of love, and it started out with a lot of sharp support, and I think they've gotten burned a couple of times, and maybe it's not the same support, but now the Seahawks are becoming a public team. I think a lot of people are very they really like the Seahawks. I don't like it. I don't get the trend here. Uh, they got exposed by Baker Mayfield. And now they're going on the road against the Jacksonville team that beat the 49ers and the Chiefs, and they're only getting 1.5 points at home. Again, the standard is 3. So you're pretty much telling me the Seahawks are a better team here. Mike Palm said he expects it to go up or become a pick 'em because the Seahawks are getting that much support there. He even said he's a little surprised that because Jacksonville's at home here. To me, I don't know. I don't see it, Vic. I don't know why, but Seattle
Yeah.
to me they're not that special. Give me the Jaguars. I think to me they've earned a little more. 1.5 here. They're laying at home.
Yeah, I'll give you my the other side of it when we get to mine. You're number 1.
And this one, I'm just taking a chance here.
Yeah, I like
One
it.
pointer Bengals plus 14 uh, in Green Bay versus the Packers, who are coming off a bye week. I get it, but for the Lions game, the Bengals like they kind of made a late run there. They did not cover, but that was only 10.5 points right there. Why are the Packers getting 14 here? I know they're at home and a bye week, but the Bengals are going to have some kind of like a little bit of a little
Joe
more
Flacco
life.
was starting, by the way.
Yeah, Joe Flacco, who already beat the Packers with the Browns. I get it, different teams here, but they're going to have a little more juice because of Joe Flacco. I'm not saying they're going to win this game. It's definitely the Packers are going to win this game, but I don't think the Packers should have the same respect that the Lions got a week ago. Like they're not the same team. They're not the same offensive juggernaut. For Jordan Love to cover 14 points, I'm not buying it. Give me the Bengals to lose by 13 and cover.
and they haven't been able to when they've been a what is it a double digit or even more than 7 point favorite. I mean,
Yeah,
we saw it against the
Browns.
Cowboys, they tied.
Yep.
Against the Browns, they lost. So what gives me any incentive to put money on the Packers here at plus 14? I mean at minus 14. Yeah, I'm with you here. I actually like this one, even though it's a one. I'm good with it. All right, moving over to mine. I'm gonna be quick here. I'll go through these and then I'll explain. We talked about the Lions plus 2.5. I've been riding with them as my five the last couple of weeks. I'm like, why mess with anything? So that pretty much is self-explanatory there. My number four, I'm going with the Seahawks, and I know we disagree on this, Gilbert, but Mike McDonald is 9-1 on the road as a Seahawks coach. His only loss was in week 4 to the Lions on Monday Night Football last year. For some reason, this team plays way better on the road. I don't understand why they are terrible at home. They're supposed to have the 12s. That's what they're known for. But I guess he's a better coach on the road. And so that's the reason I like this. The Jaguars are also coming off of a big win against the Chiefs. They might be feeling themselves. It's a Monday night game, so they're also on a short week. And so that's why I like this as a. I'm not saying that the Seahawks are a better team than the Jaguars. I'm just going with, look, you're giving me information here, and so this is the information I'm giving you, and this is the reason why I like the Seahawks in this game. But you have very valid points in terms of this defense. The Seahawks haven't been as good as people have said, and like I said, the Jaguars just feel like they they they've been they've been able to get a couple of, I would say, lucky wins. I think if they beat the Seahawks here, I'll give them more credit than I've been giving them, and they should be more. They should earn more respect after this if they pull out a win here. My number three, Gilbert. I like the Cowboys Panthers over 49.5. I really wanted to go with the Panthers here to cover, but I was like, you know what? I kind of wimped out there. I was like,
Yeah.
both of these teams can score points. I looked at that over. I'm like, I'm gonna go with the over here just because I know that these both of these offenses are gonna score on these terrible defenses.
I came close to betting on the Cowboys. I don't think I did. I no, I didn't do it, but I really wanted to. It's just I don't know. The Panthers are kind of a weird team. They get blown out or they're scoring 20 unanswered points. I think the Falcons game, they scored 30 unanswered. The second half of the Miami game, 20 unanswered. Like there's no other way. Like either they get blown out or they're just dropping a bunch of points. To me, I'm with you on the over. I think that's probably the safest way to go because Dak Prescott could score points, and then the Panthers play better at home. You've been saying that,
Yep.
but eventually, I think Prescott's offense is going to be too good where Bryce Young can't keep up, and that's why I would take the Cowboys on that one. But I wasn't confident enough to put it in my top five. I really thought about it though.
Yeah, and the reason it was because that 4.5, I was like, I know that they beat the crap out of the Jets last week, but I still want to see more of it from the Cowboys before I'm there where I
Oh,
can,
it's minus three, unless I'm seeing something differently.
oh, it must have gone down because I saw it at 4.5
I just
earlier, but
refresh. It's three right now. That's the number I
oh,
would.
there
I
you
would
go.
not
So
put.
maybe
I
it's
would not
getting
do four and a
better.
half. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. All right. My number two here, Raiders Titans over. I didn't really want to touch this. So I just feel like you're giving me 41 points from both of these offenses. I feel like, look, as bad as the Raiders offense has been in the Titans, these teams are going to either give some points away here to where it makes it over 41.5. I just feel that way. I'm sure nobody's going to watch this game with how ugly it's going to be, but I'm taking a chance here that it's going to be an over, that both of these teams can score over 20 points, like 20, 22, 23 points against each other. And I'm just taking a chance here.
Yeah, this is my biggest stay away game of the
Yeah.
week. I should probably make that
Yep.
a segment. Stay the hell away
Yep.
for multiple reasons. These two teams do not deserve my money. Like, I
Yeah.
get the Titans are on cloud nine and they beat the Cardinals, but like they could easily go back to being terrible. Like, I would never like they're like my Jaguars of the last 10 years. Like, I'm not gonna put money on the Titans here. Like they have
Yeah.
not done what the Jaguars have done this year. And the Raiders just got blown out and have bad vibes all around. Like this is one game I
Yep.
don't care about. I
That's,
know that Panthers Dolphins was good. Cardinals Titans was very entertaining. But to me, I don't want anything to do with this game. So I think betting the total is much better than betting the teams here.
Yeah, and then for my number one, I'm rolling with you here in terms of going with some
Yeah.
dogs here. I like the Browns here at 5.5. Defensively, we know what to expect. The Steelers, I get they're 3-1, but and they're coming off a bye, but they're getting this so much respect. All of a sudden, people are like, yeah, they figured out some things, and their defense should be good. I'm not buying it. I think the Browns are gonna what's gonna keep the Browns from getting the number one pick is that defense. That defense is legit. I feel like they can shut down the Steelers offense. And then it just comes up to what Dylan Gabriel can do. I feel the reason they went with him is because he can pretty much manage this game, and I feel like he can do that, and he'll keep it close to where I mean the Steelers game 5.5, especially in a division game. I just don't understand it. So I like the Browns. That's why I was kind of surprised you didn't choose that one, but you didn't want to go back to the well there, so it's understandable.
Yeah. Like I kind of thought about the Steelers for this one, but the five is there's just too many points here, and then for some reason, I don't know. I just can't get behind the Browns here. And I'll just say that this the last point here, and I know you won't like it, Victor, because you're not really a Steelers guy, but I really want the Steelers to pull away in the division. That way, Joe Burrow and the Bengals will have a chance. Like I'm tired of hearing about the Bengals and the slim chance that they have. I'm even tired about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens having slim chance. Pull away, Steelers. Forget those two teams. I don't care about them.
And I mean, then it gets interesting if they don't. I mean,
I
now
don't
you
want it
can
to get
join me.
interesting.
All right, let's finish up here with our quick hitters. We have two teams on a bye here, Gilbert. We have the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. And so we have two games to talk about here. Got the Arizona Cardinals at the Colts -7. The Colts are favored by 7 points. The over under here is 46.5. Who do you got?
Yeah, this is how depressing the Cardinals are right now. Mike Palm again from the circus said everybody's putting money on the Colts, and not a single sharp has put money on the Cardinals. So that tells you a lot right there. They don't want to take advantage of what the public is doing with the Colts there. They're just a sad team. It's a sad state of affairs. Maybe Dan could call me a curse because I did favor this team in the offseason, and they're dog crap right now. So give me the Colts here. And then the Colts have been beating up a lot of teams. They beat up the Raiders, they beat up the Dolphins, they beat up the Titans, and I think I did the math. They won those 3 games by combined 80 points. So when they played terrible teams, they handle business here.
Yeah, especially at home. They're a really good team at home. Yeah, I still want to see what they can do on the road. All right, next one and last one: New England Patriots at the New Orleans Saints, +3.5. The Patriots are 3.5 point favorites. The over under is 45.5.
Yeah, there's just a few games that I just don't like the number. Like we were just talking
Same.
about Tennessee and the Raiders, and I think the Raiders were getting 4.5. Like, no way in hell the Raiders should be laying 4.5. I don't care against what team in the NFL. Like, they're not capable of covering that. And no way in hell I'm going to back the Titans either. So that's just kind of a game. I didn't like the numbers. I didn't like the teams here. Obviously, I like the Patriots as a team here, but for them to get that much respect to win on the road and cover the hook here, it feels too premature. I know you beat the Bills. That was a big time victory. You're on a high right there. I get you're playing the crappy Saints here. I don't know why I'm talking about the Saints as a respected team here. Hey, but the Saints maybe have something there with the coaching. They are at home. It's just to me, I don't think the Patriots command that respect. I will stay away here, but F it, I'll take the Saints to cover the 3.5.
Me too. I mean, and I think part of it too is that they're at home. We saw what that win did for them. These are two teams that, they're playing young quarterbacks, and I know that Drake May is trying to look better, but I mean, this is still the NFL, and we know how it goes. It's crazy if you go from beating the Bills one week and then you lose to the Saints. But I'm with you. I feel like the Saints can keep it close. We saw what happened
Yeah.
last week, and a lot of these players are on the Saints might be playing to get traded. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens there, Gilbert. But that is all. That is all the games. That takes care of all our matchups for this week. What do you got for us to end the show?
Yeah, and I know we talk a lot about numbers here, and sometimes we forget to pick an outright winner. But I will take the Patriots here, and I'm not saying they're going to lose, but the numbers are just a little too big for a team that still has plenty to prove. But yeah, it's time to get going here. We covered pretty much everything from the betting angle. If you're joining us here and you're new, Let us know in the comments. Say you like it. Say you hate the show. I don't care, but just comment, like it. Be a compa, tell a compa, pa compas on the beat. We got everything covered from Lunes Live, where we react to Sunday's game. We even preview Monday night game. We have Tuesday four compas together, where we wait around for Dan to come and join us, and we shoot the shit and have a good time. And then Wednesday is the preview shows for the Rams and the Chargers. Again, we're LA based here, so we have a heavy focus on the LA teams, but we cover it all here on the NFL side here on Compas on the Beat. And yeah, hopefully you stick around and enjoy it because Victor has been doing some great work. Fernando's doing great work, and Dan and Diego's doing great work. And myself, I also will pat myself on the
Yep.
back.
Yep. Especially with giving us all this betting information, Gilbert. But it's time for us to go. So go ahead and close us out here.
Yeah, best of luck for week 6. Hopefully you win your bets. Maybe you're still in survivor pool. I don't know if you are. I don't know who survived last week. Good luck in that. Good luck in fantasy football. Enjoy the games. Time to get going. Ya nos vamos, pues. Vámonos.